inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Semen Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about semen retention and women attraction. Okay, I was requested to make this video. I think it's about time I made this video, but it's so profound. You'll notice this once you're on this path of not ejaculating for a while. You start to notice that women will give you attention. You go to the store, they give you attention. Wherever you go, you get that much. And it's this energy, right? We know that this is a universe of energy. So let's get right into this topic. Once you start this process of retaining your seed, you'll notice that ejaculation isn't the goal of sex. You'll realize that the goal of sex is pleasure, or the goal of self-pleasure is also pleasure, right? And I want to say self-pleasure rather than masturbation, because masturbation is just friction in your hand. Self-pleasure is a deeper connective activity, okay? Second thing, okay? Don't do this just to get women, okay? You want to have the main thing be your focus or your career or your purpose or your self-control or your willpower, something along those lines that will get you much better of an outcome than if you set out on this journey like, oh, I'm doing it for chicks, right? It's going to kind of skew you in a very strange direction, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. I'll talk about a few processes of dealing with this discomfort that happens, the pressure that kicks in, right? I am on day 12, I believe, right now, okay? And yeah, I have noticed an increase in women attraction, okay? Just from anecdotal evidence, right? Just basically how women respond to me, okay? If we look at the biological reasons for this, we understand that we as human beings were driven by our instincts, right? We have a biological reason to reproduce and survive. So I notice that when I'm on this process, my survival value increases for some reason. And also women have a biological desire to reproduce as well, and so if your balls are more full, it's signaling out into the universe and to women that, hey, they have a much higher chance to get impregnated by you. Not consciously, women are not trying to get pregnant up in here, but subconsciously they are, right? Because that's their biological body responding to that. So if your balls are full, if you have much more energy, in Vedic literature you'd say Ojas Shakti, right? Ojas is the thunderball energy that is inside the man, right? The Virya, as you would say. It's that diamond energy of like unmovable container of masculine essence, right? So the spiritual reason would be that, hey, women are highly intuitive, right? They're highly intuitive. They can sense people. They can know when guys are BSing. They know when they're putting on a front or a show. So when you're on this process, they can definitely, they can scope you out. They'll be like, hey, this guy has a different energy about him. This is a lot more masculine. I feel his life force energy, his kundalini. The Ojas Shakti rises from the Muladhara, right? You're transmuting it up to your heart. You're nutting up your spine rather than nutting out into the world, right? In this sense, you're getting those tingles, those spidey senses, those goosebumps. And the paradox is, the irony is, when you don't want to have sex, women throw sex at you. What is this nature of women want what they can't have? Or maybe it's this. Joshua explained it very well, and he's in my group, Flow Jedi. He explained it as the psychic antenna, right? You have the psychic antenna that goes out into the world, and women have this psychic antenna as well. So they can just tell. And you start to attract also energy vampires, or women who want to distract you or track you away from that progress, right? You're going to get a lot of that too, and I've noticed that too when I have done this journey before in the past. What is the practical reason? Well, you want to get out of that ejaculation hangover feeling, right? It's like that feeling of just like, I'm so tired, right? That feeling. You want that homeostasis. So day 1 to 7, this homeostasis is taking place. Okay, it's your body reconditioning. It's the dopamine basically dealing with the extra amount of energy that it has. And from day 8 to 14, I would say, around that, sometimes 8 to 17, you'll notice the women attraction kick in. Okay, now this is interesting because it's also that the same energy that we talk about in Tantra or in Taoism, right? This force of nature. What's really problematic is during this time from 8 to 14, this is the stage I'm in right now, you'll feel pressure in your system because you have this extra energy and you're not sure what to do with it. So to cultivate this charge, this extra vitality, you're going to have to do some kind of movement-based practice to move the energy around from the base of your spine, that constricted feeling, that energy, to do some yoga, to do some qigong, to do some movement or integrated practices, flow training, which I love. I have it in the Flow Zone Academy too. I introduce people to these practices during week 5 onwards, right? And to integrate this, you're going to feel less agitation if you're doing some kind of a movement practice. That's what I've noticed personally. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, right? Women attraction. So the thing is that testosterone is the male hormone, right? That is what attracts women, essentially, right? So testosterone pumps the masculine, right? It increases the masculine polarity. So you have deeper voice, okay? You have slower and more fluid movements. You're more dominant. You're able to handle situations better, right? You're able to structure things better, clearly, more clearly in your mind. So the brain fogginess is gone. And if you are a genuinely good man with a genuinely good heart, right? And I say this because, hey, you're just a good person, right? There's no evil within you. Semen retention will be a thing that integrates you, integrates your masculine pole to make you a more masculine integrated man, right? Because, hey, you have that feminine energy. You are a good person. You have a kind heart. You're compassionate. You're giving. You're loving. Then there's something missing. There is some drive missing. There's some competitive edge missing. There is something within you that hasn't fully reached that closure of yang, right, or animus. So you are giving yourself this retaining this masculine energy as you're retaining the semen, right? It's giving you a more powerful sexual essence. Essentially, if you look at it, biologically speaking again, like what do women want? They want a man who has status, who has character, who has drive. And if you increase your testosterone, you'll have more motivation to actually go for what you want. It also takes away this idea that you're putting women on a pedestal, right? Because I've noticed this very differently. Like when I'm busting all the time, you could say, I have a different opinion of women, how I'm perceiving women, right? Because I'm seeing all these graphic imagery. And when I'm off of it, it's just like it integrates and doesn't put beautiful women up on a pedestal anymore. You're like, hey, these are people, right? And I'm going to really start to notice that what David Data says is you don't have an attraction to women, you have an attraction through women. So you're replenished by the feminine in a sense rather than going after them and chasing them, right? You are seeing the mirage for the fact that, hey, the pleasure that she's there to give you through sex is fleeting, it's temporary, just like ejaculation is temporary. So if you are in this process, I'm not saying don't have sex, don't masturbate, but it's like the ability to really have self-control, right? So it's like understanding that you have a control of this and really building on that practice of making it about pleasure and not about ejaculation as the end goal. It's like you don't want to fast forward to the end of the movie. You want to learn to enjoy life and really watch the movie and observe and understand this thing a little bit more. So start to understand this power for yourself, okay? you'll know in the video where I started, and it's just been 12 days now. You'll notice a difference in my beingness, right? You'll notice a difference in my beingness and how I record these videos and how I'm speaking to you guys right now, right? So understand that difference can happen in a very short time, and it's up to you to fully integrate into that. So if you have any questions about this, shoot them below. And I know that someone else asked a video about high status clothing, so I'll be making a video of that shortly as well. Be on the lookout for that one. Having said that, join the Telegram group. We got amazing guys and gals up in there, flow Jedis. So have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you, and stay legendary. See you next time.